First of all, I want to thank Pune Tech Community, Smita as well as Nandi for this wonderful opportunity on the Global Azure Pune 2025. So with Pune Tech Community, I was associated with almost this is my seventh year, and my first presentation is Pune Tech Community is in the year 2019. So Pune Tech Community is doing the wonderful community related work activities. So anything related to technology or else community related stuff, you can always reach out to the Pune Tech Community for their wonderful hosting in terms of session and the other activities. So, as part of today's discussion, we will be talking about the building trustworthy AI, how this trustworthy AI we will be able to implement with the help of this Azure AI Foundry approach. So, let's get started. So, let me introduce myself. So, I'm Janathan Silvaraj. I'm a Microsoft AI MVP, as well as I'm a Microsoft community lead for the Chennai region. And I'm a Microsoft certified trainer as well as the Microsoft Learn expert for the data and AI domain. So currently I'm holding a 14 plus Microsoft Azure certifications. Any questions related to generative AI, agentic AI, physical AI, you can always feel free to reach out to my LinkedIn handle. This is my LinkedIn handle. You can scan the QR code. And also, I used to post videos related to the technology updates, the internship opportunities, as well as job opportunities on my YouTube handle. And you can connect me for any mentoring related activities with respect to AI platform also. So let's get started about today's discussion is on around how this content safety will be used with respect to building a trustworthy AI, and we'll discuss how to moderate the text content and how we will be able to moderating the image content, the multimodal content, and with respect to protection, material deduction for both the text as well as code. We will be discussing it. And finally, we'll talk about what is the pricing aspect of Content Safety Studio and its use cases. The very first one is what is the meaning or how do you define the Azure AI content safety? The usage of this Azure AI content safety, if I want to detect any harmful or else user generated or even AI generated content, if you want to moderate as well as monitor, we will be using the Azure AI content safety services. So under this Azure AI content safety services, we will be able to detect both harmful content as well as the AI generated harmful content as well as the tech user generated harmful content. So both type of content, if I want to moderate it, use content safety studio. So under this content safety studio, you can detect both text-based content, image-based content, as well as multi-modal content. So these are the typical content where you will be able to detect as well as monitor with the help of this Azure AI content safety services. And this Azure AI content safety services, it is default, it is available in your Azure OpenAI as well as in your Azure AI Foundry, and even it is available in the Azure Machine Learning Studio. So in these three services, the content safety it is available by default. So no need to explicitly, you need no need to use that service to invoke. By default, it will be available. Then the other important usage of this content safety services, you can divide your overall content into four categories. It could be a hate category, or it could be a sexual category, or violence category, or any even your self-harm category. So these are the four categories we will can divide your overall content in the content safety services categories. Along with that, every content will be assigned with one of the severity score on a scale of 0 to 6. So on a scale of 0 to 6, we will be able to assign your severity score. 0 is being the low severity, which means it is a safe severity, and 6 is being the high severity. That's the overall severity level and its range of scales. Along with that range of scales, it is also supporting multiple languages with respect to the content safety services. When I say multiple languages, it is not only supporting the English, it is also supporting nearly 12 multilingual languages like French, Chinese, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese. So those are the multilingual languages the content safety is now supporting. Suppose if you have been identified and detected this particular content that is not a safe content, what will happen is there is a parameter we call it as status. In the status, it is automatically it is going to block or else it is going to accept it. There are two things. Either it can accept the content if it is a safe content, or it can be reject the content if the content is not safe. So that's how the content safety will be played a typical role while building any type of trustworthy AI. When I say trustworthy AI, it is your responsible AI. So what are the languages or what are the various type of filters available with respect to content safety? So which is your self-harm, your hate, violence, and sexual. These are the categories. For every category, there will be a severity levels will be assigned. 0 is being the low severity. Your 2 is being 0 is the safe one and 2 is your low, and 4 is being the medium and 6 is being the highest severity. And this particular content safety service, it is also available in 8 plus multilingual models that you can see like English, German, Spanish, Japanese, Italian, Portuguese, and Chinese. These are the multilingual models. The Azure AI content safety is now available. On the top of this, there will be three APIs we will be using as part of the content safety API is concerned. One is your text detection API, and the second one we call it as image detection API. And the last one we name it as, is there a question? The last one is your text blocklist management API. So these are the APIs are available as part of content safety. So when it comes to the text detection API, what type of content you will be able to moderate is anything which is related to text, which is self-harm, violence, hate, or sexual. For those type of content you want to moderate it, use text detection API. Similarly, all types of categories like harmful categories, if I want to monitor and moderate the image content, then you can go for image detection API. And there may be some of the words we need to block like kill, hate, your suicide, those type of words which are harmful. If I want to block it, then use text blocklist management API. So these are the three APIs we will use as part of the Content Safety Studio as concerned. Let's see the Content Safety Studio. We will discuss how will you moderating the text content, the image content, multi-model, and we'll see the code infringement content and your protected material deduction for text content. Let me show you the portal now. So for this Azure AI content safety, what is the service which I have already provisioned in the Microsoft Azure portal? It is the content safety service. I have provisioned it. So you have to provision a content safety services. It's just very simple service where you will be able to choose the minimal operations. Even anyone wants to create a content safety services, it is easy to create it. But remember, whenever you create any content safety services, you are supposed to include one of the role in the identity access management control, which is the cognitive services user. If this cognitive services user, you are not enabled, you may not able to use the content safety studio service in your Azure AI Foundry. So always it is well and good. Please use the respective IAM control services in your content safety. So right now, if I open this access control in the identity access management, you can notice what level of access I have included is. I have included this cognitive services user. So cognitive services user is one of the role assignment you need to add it. Then only this will be able to use in your Azure AI Foundry. So this one, most of them will forget to add this. If you're not adding this particular access control, you will be getting an error, name it as the resource cannot access this group owner. So such type of error we will be getting when you open the Content Safety Studio. And sometimes you will be facing one more error while deploying this Content Safety Studio, which is the network error. When I say the network error, it's not about your internet connectivity. It's about the server, whatever the region you've been deployed, that server may be down. Due to that, some of the cases you will be getting network access issue error. So in those cases, the recommendation is clear your all your browser history, and you can open the Content Safety Studio URL one more time, then you will be able to use it. So these two are the frequently committed error while deploying your content safety resource, you will be getting it. The other one is earlier what we are doing it is, so we will deploy one content safety resource in the portal and we will can directly redirect the content safety studio. So nowadays, what they are making actually it is instead of you redirecting directly to the content safety studio, it is always well and good you provision one Azure AI Foundry hub. So how do you provision the Azure AI Foundry? You just create a resource known as Azure AI Foundry. In this Foundry, you have two components. One is the hub, the another one is the project. First, to create the hub first. So I have already created a hub in the Azure AI Foundry. And after that, you redirect to the Azure AI Foundry portal. In this Azure AI Foundry portal, you have to create a project first. So inside the project, you are supposed to be associated with your Azure AI hub. Whatever the hub you've been provisioned in the portal, you can use the same hub here also. Once it is done, there is a section known as AI Services section. In the AI Services section, all the studios in the Microsoft, they are clubbed together under one single umbrella. The name of this umbrella, we call it as Azure AI Foundry. So in this Azure AI Foundry, you can choose the service which is known as Content Safety Service. So already you provision Content Safety Service resource and you provision the Azure AI Foundry resource. Now you may be having a confusion whether which particular service I need to use in the content safety. Do I need to use the Azure AI Foundry resource, or else do I need to use the content safety resource? You have to use the content safety resource, because for the content safety resource only, you have added the role assignment. The role assignment is your cognitive services user role assignment you have added. So you have to choose your content safety resource. Don't choose your Azure AI Foundry resource. So I have chosen the content safety resource now. So these are the initial setup you need to perform when it comes to the Azure AI Foundry, especially your Content Safety Studio. The first, moderating your text content, are we going to do it? You look at this content, they already classified this content as a safe content. And if you see this prompt, what type of prompt they have used is chopping tomatoes and cutting them into cubes or edges are the great ways to practice your knife skill. So if you notice this particular prompt, if I execute this and look at all the severity levels, violence, self-harm, sexual aid, all the thresholds are now default. It is a medium it has set. You can change it to high, you can change it to low, you can change it to medium also. If I execute this particular test, you can see the result as the content overall, the prompt, it says all the severity levels are safe. And look at the judgment. The judgment says it is an allowed content because there is no harmful thing available in this one. But if you notice this particular content, see this content, a 51-year-old man was found dead in his car. There were blood stains on the dashboard and windscreen. At autopsy, a deep oblique, long incist injury was found on the front of the neck. It turns out that he died by suicide. If you keenly notice in this prompt actually categorized into a violence category as well as self-harm category. But the judgment will says it will be rejected. Why the judgment has been rejected? Because of the filter, your self-harm condition as well as your violence condition, the judgment has been blocked. So likewise, in the beginning stage, I mentioned the Content Safety Studio is available in multiple languages. When I say multiple languages, so here we have the combination of English followed by a French. So look at the statement, painfully twist his arm, then punch him in the face, and you have a French statement. So in the initial first part of the phrase itself, it is clearly indicates it is a violence content. Obviously, if I execute this particular test, you will be getting a blocked content. The content has been blocked because of the violence category. So all these prompt or a single based prompt, we will be executing it. So when it comes to the enterprise application, we are not going to execute a single prompt. Okay, we will be executing a bulk CSV file, or it could be an Excel file, or whatever the data source may be. When I'm going to execute the bulk test, at this point in time, you are getting either accepted or a blocked state, you are getting it. In case, when I use this one, so look at this, we have a sequence of prompt, almost this 20 prompts we are having it. And look at the label indicates it is zero. If the label indicates zero, what does it mean? It is related to which type of severity we call it is a safe severity. So any labels indicating zero, we call it as a safe severity. If the label indicates other than one, it's not a safe severity. It may falls under these categories like low category, or it can be medium category, or even it can be your high category. So based upon the labels, you can come to one conclusion whether it is a safe content or it is an unsafe content. When I execute this particular test, this time you will not get accepted or blocked or rejected. You will be getting a percentage values. So you'll get accepted percentage. So all the labels are zero. You will get the allowed percentage is 100 percentage, and there is no blocked percentage, which is zero. And look at other metrics is precision, recall, F1 score. F1 score is precision divided by recall. These are the matrices. And precision meaning is at least one of the content is blocked, then you can use precision as well as recall. If you want to check all the prompt one by one, you can download this entire result in a CSV file, and you can have a provision to check it. If you want, I can still check it out. So now I just downloaded the CSV file. The moment I open the CSV file, you can clearly notice each and every prompt, it has a separate status as a judgment status. In the judgment status, whether your prompt will be an accepted prompt or the prompt will be a rejected prompt. That particular condition, you can see this. So other than this, you can see there is one more example. Let me go with label 0 and 1. Label 1 indicates it is not a safe prompt. Label 0 indicates it's a safe prompt. So we have almost 1,000 number of records available. If I execute this particular test, see the result. This time you will get both allowed percentage as well as the blocked percentage. So the moment you started getting the blocked percentage, obviously your other metrics as precision, recall, F1 score will be available. You can see this. The judgment is blocked, the judgment has been allowed. So everywhere you can see the allowed percentage as well as blocked percentage. So this is how we used to moderate what type of content, in a sense, text-based content. Okay. So all these codes are ready-madely they used in the studio, we just plug and play. But when you want to use this as a code-based implementation, what I'm going to do it is I will be using one of the library. The name of the library is known as Azure AI Content Safety Library. In the Azure AI Content Safety Library, what I'm going to do it is I'll be installing the packages with the help of the command pip install Azure AI Content Safety. So using the content safety, we will be using the classes like content safety client, your text category client, and analyze text options. So these three are the major classes which are used for your text-based moderation. So from the Azure AI content safety, we need two important parameters. One is the key, the another one is the endpoint. So it is always well and good. Don't pass the key information like a hard coding. Okay. Since for this example, I just use hard coded, but always it is recommended you can pass your key information inside the key vault. There is a key vault service. There you can pass your key. So after this particular event, I will delete this resource, okay, because my key will maybe misused by someone else also. So it is always recommended use your keys inside your key vault, not as hard coded. After this, we will be calling one of the class name it as content safety client. That is a class name. Inside the content safety client, we pass it endpoint and we pass the key information. With the help of analyze the text option, you can pass your class name. Inside the class name, you need to pass your prompt. So here, what is the prompt I passed is how to make an atom bomb. So this is the prompt I just passed it. And inside the try block, I'm going to call the function name. What is the function name is analyze text function name. Inside the analyze text function name, you will be passing the request. Request is nothing but your analyze text options. Inside analyze text options, you have the prompt. And in the exception block, you are printing the error code and the error message. Finally, you are going to print the hate result, self-harm result, sexual result, violence result. So based upon the prompt, it is going to print the values. If all are zero, which means there is no harm, which is nothing but it is a safe prompt. When it comes to anything related to violence category, the numbers will be printed accordingly. It could be 0, 2, 4. It is going to be executed. So what I'll be doing now, I'm going to execute this prompt, Python, name of the file is sample2.py. So this is related to your, which one is your text moderation. So since this prompt is belongs to a violence category, you will get some violence-based result. See? So hate is 0, self-harm 0, sexual 0, but look at the hate, violence, it is a 4. 4 meaning it is a medium severity. So likewise, you can give your prompt inside the analyze text option. The same thing, whatever we have seen in this window, right? In your Foundry. In the Foundry, whatever the prompt is there. For example, take this prompt. Chopping tomatoes, the same prompt, if I execute it over here, you will get all are 0. In all are 0, which means it is a safe prompt. You'll get safe prompt. So one more thing, if you keenly observe in your violence content and all, there is an option called as use block list. So look at the words like dead, dead, died, then suicide, kill, hate. These are the words called as block list words. So you have to use block list. So use block list. I'm going to create a block list now. Add a block list. Create a new block list. So let's say block list underscore terms. Create this. So let us add some of the terms. So what are terms I'm going to add? Die, suicide, then dead, kill. When these words it's found, it will automatically throw on a block list reduction. Done this. So it is now ready. So what if I use just execute the test now? This time it is saying that we got the results blocked because of which category self-harm and violence, and see the block list reduction. The block list reduction says dead and suicide, these two are the words which is available in this prompt, And you can see as what type of deduction, block list deduction. If you want to do any block list deduction, then we will be using the block list deduction API. Yeah. So I just showcase the block list deduction API. So this is the block list deduction API. Just a second. This is your block list deduction API. Let me explain the code, what the code contains. So under the block list deduction API, so we'll be using the client as block list client. And what is the class will be used for block list deduction API is text block list. Okay. And same key and endpoint we pass. Then the first method is you are creating a block list using create underscore or underscore update underscore text block list. That is the one you are creating first. Second one is you are adding all the block lists with the help of add block list item. So using this function, you are adding all the block list items. Then using the analyze text, whatever the prompt you are given in the prompt, if you have any words which are block list, that will be added, but that will be called with the help of the function analyze text underscore block list. Then in this case, you can see hate is one of the block list, kill is one of the block list. Okay. Similarly, whatever the block list term we are adding in the studio, you can add with the help of the function list text block list. Once you added, and if you want to get all the list with the help of get text block list, we can execute it. So I'm going to execute the code now. So 4 functions I have created here. One is creation block list, get the block list, list the block list, and remove the block list. So Python sample3.py. So now I have done with the help of the APIs, and they are done the same APIs only they use inside the studio. So this is how we will be doing in the real time. You can see there are 2 words that has been blocked. One hate word has been blocked. Kill has been there. So these 2 words will be automatically blocked, and it is listing the block list term. So once it is listed and those 2 words has been blocked, what are the words that has been blocked as? Kill has been removed, your hate has been removed. Okay. Same thing we are using here. Here it is no code application. Here we have a low code application. Low code application, still you are writing the API to do this. So as of now, we have moderated 2 type of content we have been moderated. One is your text, the another one is the image. So when is the text, and one is your block list. So let's do with the text image part. So when it comes to the image, all the images by default, according to your Microsoft responsible AI policy, it is blur by default. Okay. If you see this image, before that I have to use the content safety resource. All the images are blur by default. If I unblur this, you can notice this content is an accepted content. There is no harm in this. It's just an accepted content. But if you have noticed this one, it is a self-harm content. So you will be getting again, it is a blocked content because of self-harm. Because of self-harm, it has been blocked. Same way, if I want to do with the bulk image test is not only a single image. So we will be passing all the images in an Excel sheet along with the label. If the labels are 0, what does it indicate? It is passed. Example, when I click this, you can see this is the passed image, second image, third image, fourth, 5, 6. So likewise, you will be passing a sequence of images. So this time you'll get allowed percentage. Allowed percentage is 100, blocked is 0, and there is no matrices for this precision recall and F1 score because there is no blocked image. In case, look at this one, you have a labels which indicates 1 also. Any of the label which indicates 1, it is not a proper image, it is an unblocked image. Let's execute this. You will get allowed percentage as well as blocked percentage. Then there is one more content, we call it as a multi-model content. Multi-model content, it's still in the preview section. Uh, Let me explain what is multi-model. The meaning of multi-model is text followed by image. Both the text and image should be safe. Then only it is a safe content. If one of the text is safe content, image is not a safe, it is a blocked content. So look at this multi-model. Before you choosing it, you have to choose the resource properly. Choose your content safety resource. Execute this code now. If I unblur this, look at this text and look at the image. It is a safe image. So let it run for some time. Meanwhile, I'll explain the code related to image. So same thing, your text reduction, your block list reduction, we have an image reduction. For image reduction, what is the class we will use is image category. But this time we will pass three parameters: key, endpoint, the image path. So look at this image, whether the image is a safe image or unsafe image. This is not a safe image. And see this image also. While chopping tomatoes, you got hurt and blade has also came out. So this is also not safe image. So let me execute this one by one. Same procedure, there is no change, only the class name changes. What is the name of the classes? Analyze image options. Rest of the things same. Let me execute this. Terminal, Python. You can see this violence is 2. If I change the images, image name as I2. I2. Then you'll get self-harm. And self-harm and violence. This is for image moderation. Okay. So you can see this. If I execute this particular test of multi-model, this will be passed. This is allowed content. What about this one is? This is not going to be allowed. This will be rejected. This will be rejected because of violence. Same way, if I go for this. So this is also a rejected content. So likewise, even for code infringement, like you have used someone else GitHub code without their permission. Some of the GitHub code repos are licensed along with the MIT license, or it could be of any licenses they are used, like a modification license. Without their consent, if you used it, you just call it as protected material deduction for code. This is still in the preview section. So if I use this code, it will clearly indicate that this code has been taken from this particular GitHub repo and it is having associated with this license. So what I have to do, I have to change the resource. If I execute this one, without their consent, if I started use this, it will clearly say it is a no assertion license and this has been deducted from this particular code repos. So this we call it as protected material for reduction. This is useful mostly for the code infringement part. Whether they had taken some of the licenses without their consent, you are not, if you are using it, you will get this type of error information. Same way for your lyrics as well as your recipes, we call it as protected material for text. If they are having a copyright lyrics part or as copyright recipes, they are taken as a patent, you will get that type of error information like a protected lyrics, your protected recipes also. If I use this recipe without their consent, it will say this is a protected code. Same thing for your lyrics also. So to sum up this, whenever you build any type of trustworthy AI system, you have to follow this principle. So what is the principle you should follow is you have to follow these four layers. The first layer is model. Model is nothing but which large language model you are about to deploy. It could be a base model or it could be your fine-tune model. Second one it is while building the model, you have to protect with your right content safety system with the help of Content Safety Studio. This Content Safety Studio by 2026, it is going to be retired. Now, the new Content Safety Studio service name it is called as Content Understanding. The content understanding is still in the preview section. This will become in general available in the upcoming days. That is a new content safety system. And third important one is you need to ground the data as well as your model to locally to a specific business or to specific domain. Don't use any IP data. Don't use any patent data to train the model. Okay. And finally, whatever the system you are developing it is, it has to be easily interacted, easily communicated, easily utilized by the human beings in such a way that you have to build your user experiences or user interface design. So these are the four layers to make your trustworthy AI more responsible. So this is we discussed already the Python code and all. This and all done. Text to moderation. We use the packages, Azure AI content safety packages. We are taking endpoints and key from the portal. Content safety client class. We used one class name called as analyze text options. So this already we discussed in the code. Same thing for image also. So let's see the last part of our section. What is the content safety use cases? So where I can use content safety use cases, one is the online marketplaces, your gaming sector, your social media sector, your education provider. In the gaming sector, if you want to moderate any chat messages or else your chat rooms, gaming rooms, you can go for gaming content safety provider. Social messages, if you want to moderate and monitor, you can go for social messaging platform for content safety. And educational provider, what type of content you need to provide for the providers with respect to education, you can moderate it. Like for marketing people, what type of content related to marketing, if I want to curate it, then you can go for content safety. So final one is the content safety pricing aspect. If I want to show the content safety pricing, so under the content safety pricing, there will be a price is involved. So what is the price is? There are two tiers are there. One is the free tier. The another one we call it as a standard pricing tier. So free tier, it is 5,000 text records per month. It is free. And images, 5,000 images. And when it comes to a standard tier, you have 0.38 and 0.75 for images. So this will be varying every time, region to region. This is not a standard one. This is just an example I have taken from the pricing portal. So that's it. Let's open the session for questions.
Hello, Janardhan. Thank you so much for sharing this valuable information. It was really very informative session. We really liked it, and thank you for showing all these
Thanks,
practical
Smita.
approaches with Azure AI Foundry for the building the trustworthy system. If you have any questions, feel free to ask Janardhan. nice weekend.
Okay. Thank you so much, Smita, for this opportunity.
Yeah, I have shared the profile, LinkedIn profile for Janardhan. So if you have later also